I also want to look at AMD. People really like to look at AMD for some reason. Happy to oblige. The only stocks I don't really look at are financials, just because I don't even understand them. But I might hire a financials guy. So rest assured, we will have that covered at some point. They'll have to teach me how financials work. I know the basics, but that's about it. Okay. Let's see, AMD. AMD is like, so people really care about AMD, over care about AMD. So $98. Company's grown from $5 billion in revenue about a decade ago up to $23 billion in revenue recently. So about a 4 or 5x in revenue over the years. I missed the conference call and everything. Oh, big numbers. What was the problem? Guidance? It's always guidance, isn't it? Yeah, look at the leverage in this business. It's kind of a beautiful thing. You show me a picture of Sydney Sweeney and a picture of this, I'd say this is more beautiful. But that's just me. I don't know if you guys think the same way. That's how I think. You see the operating income growing a huge amount, even with revenue not growing as much. So it kind of incredible growth in leverage there. Incredible leverage in their business model, basically. Okay. Drax. Good morning, Drax. Okay, 1634 shares outstanding. All right, so what's the problem with AMD? Is it product cycle problem, or let's see. You know, I'm not a semis guy. I'm not a rapper, so just keep that in mind. Let's see here. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not. I don't think so. Let's see if I can.
I'm not a rapper.
See if I can get that a little more clear.
I'm not a rapper.
There you go. All right, so it was 81 when I last populated this. So it's not like it's gone down or anything. Too bad. I think people look at the last sort of boost and have their opinion. Yeah, the Drewski thing is obviously fake. Like, there's clearly somebody putting all these, like, they did the same thing with Jay-Z. Almost verbatim. It was like almost verbatim the same crazy allegations that were like just so outlandishly crazy. I think it's just extortion, right? Like, I think they're going to arrest a bunch of the people that are doing this. Drewski's like, I wasn't even famous. Nobody was inviting me to any Diddy party. Okay, I barely know who Drewski is other than the cool meme that I like. Is he a comedian? Should I fuck with him? Should I call him? Drewski, Shkreli, listen. All right, Drewski and Shkreli connect. What'd he do with Ruby Rose? I don't even know who these people are. There's so many new influencers. New rappers every day. Liabilities plus shareholders' equity. Come on, man. Come on, man. Get to better than that. Drewski bullish on Nike. I see. All right, let's see here. Let me read this. Market's open in 2 minutes, though. Okay. Yeah, I guess we have full year now for 24. All right, so revenue grew 14% year over year. They only had a slowdown in 23 after a really torrid run of 3 years of like 40+% revenue growth. So not too bad of a dip there, and now returning to growth. Much bigger company, obviously. So pretty good. 2024 was a transformative year for AMD, delivered record revenue and strong earnings growth. So Dr. Lisa Su, data center segment annual revenue nearly doubled as the EPYC processor adoption accelerated and delivered more than $5 billion in AMD Instinct accelerator revenue. Looking to 25, we see clear opportunities for continued growth based on the strength of the product portfolio. Okay. CFO Jean Hu. Let's take a break to look at the market real quick, though. Okay. Investing aggressively in AI and innovation. Okay, that's the CFO.
Order filled.
These are some non-GAAP numbers. We'll look at those translations in a second. Data center was a record 3.9. Up 69% year over year. Strong ramp of AMD Instinct GPU shipments. And growth in EPYC CPU sales. Okay. Data center was 12.6 for the year. Really up 100% year over year. That's kind of amazing. Okay. So that's good for them. Then we got Ryzen, which is the consumer GPU. Also still growing pretty nicely after after a bad year last year. I don't know if it's a refresh cycle or what happened there, but gaming. Oh, Ryzen's the CPU, of course. Right, or is it both? Are they both Ryzen? I don't even know the AMD GPU. Radeon. Ryzen and Radeon. There we go. Yeah, I never used these things. I haven't used a Radeon in 20 years when it was ATI that AMD acquired to get into GPUs. I don't know if you guys remember ATI. ATI was big on Wall Street. I don't know anything about hardware. Software, different.
Order filled.
Yeah, Epic is the data center. Okay, so gaming had a really rough year. Decrease in semi-custom revenue. Oh, okay, so that was PlayStation or something.
Order filled. Order filled.
All right, let's take a look at this. AMD continues expanding its partnerships to deliver highly performant AI infrastructure at scale. IBM announced plans to deploy the Instinct MI300X. Okay.
Order filled.
We just make some more adjustments to my positions here. I do want to keep shorting these stocks, so bear with me.
Order filled.
In any event, let's keep reading. Vultr, I don't even know who that is. And AMD announced a strategic collaboration to power Vultr's cloud infrastructure. Yeah, it's a little like cloud guy, right? LF Alpha, I know those guys, announced that it will leverage the MI300.
Order partially filled.
Oh, what's happening now?
Order filled.
Rally? Okay, MI300 and the MI300X. And then, of course, there's ROCm, which I've dealt with through PyTorch. Okay, so they're going to do tokenizer-free LLM architecture. Interesting. Fujitsu and AMD announced strategic partnership. AMD announced strategic investments, including investments in Liquid AI. Oh, wow. Liquid AI, Vultr, and Absci. Isn't Absci, that's an antibody player, right? Okay. AMD released ROCm 6.3. Dell and AMD announced that Ryzen AI Pro. Okay. Ryzen AI Pro. Dell Pro Notebook Desktop PC partnership. Okay, you've got Ryzen AI Max. And the Max Pro. These are, yeah, desktop. Ryzen AI 300. Ryzen AI 300 Pro. These are, I guess, Notebooks, notebook processor. We got the Ryzen 200 and the Ryzen 200 Pro. Okay. El Capitan supercomputer at Livermore. Number 1 on the top 500 list. Wow. El Capitan. The Hunter supercomputer at Stuttgart. The MI300As, APUs. Should not call them APUs.
Order filled.
Okay, here we go back down.
Order filled. Order filled. Order partially filled. Order filled. Order filled.
Get at the light before we say goodbye. Get us into the end. All right, Hunter supercomputer.
Order filled.
ENI HPC6 system at the University of Paderborn. The fastest system in Norway, called Sigma 2. Okay, now we've got some more consumer stuff. We've got the Ryzen 9000 X3D. Let's see.
Order partially filled.
Ryzen Z2.
Order filled.
Ryzen 9000 HX. This is handheld,
Order
mobile, and desktop. Okay. Oh, I just tried to short a very absurd amount of stock by accident on a misclick. Oops. That would have been devastating. Thank God the computer stopped me. Where would we be without computers? All right. AMD Adrenaline Edition. Sounds retarded. Versal Gen 2 portfolio. What is this? Interface and memory technologies. Oh, these are FPGAs? Okay, back down we go. We're getting below 8 again. Sort of to be expected.
Order partially filled. Order filled.
I need to get some water or something.
Order filled.
I've been dehydrated for forever. Well, we know what LPDDR5 hex is. That's memory, but I'm not sure what CXL 3.1 is. These are like fabrics? Okay. Is this the old, what, Xilinx? The old Xilinx products? Compute Express Link Consortium. Interesting. Yeah, all the shit coins will go to zero. I agree with that. Bitcoin below 80. Twitter is down. Okay, let's look at the guidance. The guidance was 7.1. Was that below consensus? 30% revenue growth, not bad. I mean, revenue growth just keeps going higher and higher. I guess of course, the cyclicality matters quite a bit.
Order filled. Order filled.
Whoa! GenMab announces J&J decision
Order filled.
regarding Hexabody. Huh. Wow, GenMab will not. Okay, so cash flow. Okay, so free cash flow is 2.4 billion. So you're paying 64 times free cash flow for a company that's been sort of a secular grower, but look at the 2013 to 2017 period. You'd basically flat earnings, and then you had the cyclical big jump here. So like, I think you just have to be pretty sure that we're going to be in this big semi-super cycle for a while. Otherwise, I don't know how you buy AMD, given the you know, given this could be peak cycle earnings. What do you want to pay on peak cycle earnings? 20 times? Even that's aggressive for peak cycle. Yeah, AMD looks like a short to me. I mean, unless you really feel like they're going to dominate more than what's priced in. I mean, even on a price to sales basis, it's like very historically expensive at 6 times. It's like CapEx of revenue. It's just CapEx. Yeah. You can't really fight the macro when you're a semiconductor company. It's pretty tricky. What's up, Rabbi? Market manipulation? What's happening, William? Market manipulation police, get on the ground. You've been caught manipulating markets. How do you plead? Yeah, AMD doesn't really spend much on CapEx. Okay, so they actually had 3.2 billion in earnings at one point. Or free cash flow. So you could do like, you guys probably heard of this like CAPE, cyclically adjusted PE ratio. There's a couple ways to do this, including like almost like a moving average. No, I increased the shorts on quantum today. I want as much exposure to the straight as possible. I mean, Rigetti's going up $3. I mean, just a fucking shitty company. Like, why would anyone want to own it? No revenue. You know, you get technical progress update once a year. Like, what's there to be excited about?
Order filled. Order filled. Order partially filled. Order filled. Order filled. Order partially filled. Order partially filled. Order partially filled.
Yeah, so one way to do it is just sort of smooth out the earnings as if it were cyclically, not a cyclically sort of bumpy company.
Order filled.
Problem is you don't know what the peak is and what isn't. That's the only kind of tricky part. But I mean, another way to look at it is the last 7 years, AMD's made $10 billion. Yeah, it's a little hard to justify these earnings unless you, I don't know, like if you assume they can grow cash flow. So I guess, the meta here is, will they take share in the GPU market? Will they take share in the PC market's important too, but I'm not sure it's that important given how Intel's done. And obviously there's some expectation that they'll continue to grow and take share from Intel. I think expectations on the GPU side are pretty low. There's going to be a lot of different types of accelerators coming through too. I'm trying to think of what I know about AI and how it would apply here. I mean, if Torch works for ROCm, which it kind of does, and they could improve ROCm a bit and Torch with it, it could take some share. And I would have no problem using an AMD if ROCm was stable. And even kind of like a 5-10% market share there would be a pretty big earnings boom. There is an expected gain there to some extent, but not a 10% gain, maybe like a 1 or 2% gain. So if they can get a 5 or 10% gain, that'd be a big deal. I don't know how competitive the chip is though, like price per flop. It's hard to beat NVIDIA's systems. Pretty well crafted. I mean, just the call optionality of that is worth quite a lot. It's funny that you think about a $150 billion company as a call option. But, I guess you're getting that call option somewhat for free, which I like. Yeah, I don't know. I'm now that I think of it, I kind of like it. I mean, they'll continue to abuse Intel, and that'll get them to like another, $30 billion in revenue. You see what the leverage power there was. I'm not worried about a near-term recession for AMD. That's going to happen to everybody. That shouldn't affect the stock too much. Question is, will they keep taking share from AMD, and then what will they do in the GPU accelerator world? I think things are kind of slowing down to the point where it wouldn't be shocked if, as the dust settles, AMD could gain a little share. People really do want an alternative to NVIDIA to some extent. And if it's all the same when you're running Torch, you could kind of work with that. Now, the bigger companies aren't just going to run Torch. They're going to write their own kernels and stuff like that. And for that stuff, AMD is kind of forever cooked. I mean, you have to really go into programming a bit. Yeah. it's a hard call. I mean, again, the beauty of the market is you don't need to make hard calls. But think about it, a 10% market share in GPUs for the data center doubles their revenue. I don't know that Microsoft wants to get into semiconductors. But it is a funny point, is that if Google is going to spend $75 billion in 1 year on CapEx, I might as well buy AMD. Yeah. I reserve judgment on AMD. I got to think about it some more. At the right price, it's a great long. But if they can get that GPU share, or the accelerator share, whatever they call it, that'd be a pretty big deal.